eastern Greek islands. No casualties have been reported. This occurred today. Greek authorities have said a strong earthquake struck the southeastern Aegean overnight, but did not cause any damage. The Athens Geodynamic Institute said the quake had a preliminary magnitude of 5 on the Richter scale and struck just after midnight around 10 GMT between Monday and Tuesday. Its epicenter was located beneath the seabed, 300 kilometers southeast of Athens, between the islands of Kos and Astipala. British Prime Minister Gordon Brown is looking for a boost to his political fortunes by meeting President Barack Obama to discuss the global economic crisis. In hard times at home, Brown hopes to benefit from Britain's high regard for the American president and to demonstrate British leadership at a time of economic uncertainty. He is the first European leader to visit Obama. Brown, who was to meet Obama on Tuesday, is laying the groundwork for a G20 economic summit of advanced and developing nations meeting in London next month. The summit, which Brown is chairing, is critical for improving global economic confidence as well as Brown's political prospects. Brown planned to deliver a tough economic message from the White House and lawmakers, whom he will address tomorrow. He is urging the United States to avoid perfectionism at a time that it has populist appeal. That theme is likely to loom large at the London summit. Ahead of the US trip, Brown stressed the traditionally strong bonds between British and American leaders and urged the two countries to lead the world out of crisis. The White House pointed to the need for coordinated economic action. The President said in September that we have to act together in helping to stimulate the economies of the G20, as well as ensuring that there are some financial rules of the road so we don't find ourselves in the same position a few years down the line. Germany's economic minister, Gutenberg, said, "There are still a lot of unanswered questions." Opel, the German car maker, is seeing more than $4 billion in state aid, arguing that it can remain solvent despite the problems of General Motors, its parent company in the United States. Company representatives in Berlin presented a $4.2 billion restructuring proposal to Karl Theodor zu Gutenberg, the company's economic minister, on Monday. Gutenberg said after the meeting, "There are still a lot of unanswered questions. More than 26,000 jobs are at stake in Germany, in addition to those at part suppliers," the company has said. Gutenberg, who is set to visit Washington in 2 weeks' time, said German authorities would carefully study the project and pursue talks including the US government. Opel's proposal to turn the company around, which was approved on Friday by the company's supervisory board, also foresees greater autonomy for the German company from its US parent. A spokesman for the German government said on Monday that a major concern for Berlin was ensuring that German taxpayers' money did not go towards saving jobs in the US. Investors reacted calmly to reports that Toyota was seeking a loan from a government-backed bank. Toyota, Japan's crisis-hit car maker, has approached a government-backed bank for a loan to help its financial unit ride out the credit crunch. Toyota said on Tuesday that it was in talks with Japan Bank for International Cooperation, but that no deal had been decided. Earlier, Japan's Kyodo News and NHK-TV reported the loan request was in the region of about $2 billion, without identifying sources. The bank declined to comment on the amount of the loan. Toyota has projected it will report a loss of $3.6 billion at the end of its financial year in March, its first annual loss in nearly 6 decades. Japan's Nikkei Business Daily reported that the loan would be used to support Toyota's operations in the US. The move comes amid concerns that firms are finding it increasingly hard to raise funds from distressed market and cash-strapped banks. General Electric Company Chief Executive Officer Jeffrey Immert took responsibility for the US conglomerate's tarnished reputation as a growth company in a letter to shareholders released on Monday. Our company's reputation was tarnished because we weren't the safe and reliable growth company that is our aspiration. I accept responsibility for this, but I think this environment presents an opportunity of a lifetime, Immert wrote in a letter included in the company's annual report. GE shares have lost 75% of their value over the past year, a steeper slide than either the blue-chip Dow Jones Industrial Average, DJI, or the broad Standard & Poor's 500 index have witnessed. He wrote, 2008 was a tough year, and we expect 2009 to be even tougher. The macro environment has been brutal. The losses in the whole financial services industry are projected to be at least $2 trillion. The lending capacity that has come out of the system is somewhere between 5 trillion and 10 trillion, he said. Immert intends to reset the financial services business to be smaller, less volatile, and more connected to the GE core. Earlier this decade, our financial services earnings received a valuation similar to our industrial earnings. Today it is lower. In the end, having financial services as 50% of our earnings was too high, he wrote. Well, that's the news for today. We will be back again tomorrow at our usual broadcast time with Frank Fortunato. Until then, thank you for watching and have a good day.